Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kristen and I hope you're all having a wonderful day and happy 2025 by the way. This is the first video I am posting of 2025 and I hope you all had a wonderful New Year's and ready to start 2025 on the right track. I hope you all have a busy and productive 2025 ahead of you. I know I do. I have a lot of plans this year. I am getting married in May and so I have a lot of planning to do with that, and I guess that's all I have planned so far. So I guess I don't have like a super busy 2025 so far, but planning a wedding, there is a lot to it. And so that in itself is going to keep me busy. So I'm happy. Matter of fact, I will actually be shopping for my wedding dress next week, so wish me luck on that. I know I am getting a late start on that, so I hope that is not going to be a problem. I think I found a place that actually does altercations for such a short notice, so yes, wish me luck guys. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this build. So like I said, I meant this for fall, and so it's very fall colors, and I think it's so pretty though. I absolutely love this house. I don't know why it took me so long to do a voiceover for this house. Honestly, I tend to do that a lot, so that is something I really need to work better on here in 2025, is to do a voiceover pretty much directly after I do a build. I think I can remember things a lot better if I do it that way. But as you can see, I have like kind of like the backyard as the side of the house. There's a little bit in the back as well, but the majority of the yard is on the side of the house. That's just how this lot is laid out. It's a 30 by 20, but it's like 30, it's the long way. It's laid out the horizon way and not really portrait, and so that just, it calls to have a backyard on the side of the house as well, unless I use for rent and I'm able to do two houses on one lot. That is something I do love to do. I just haven't done that in a while. It takes a long time to build two houses on one lot, and so that's really the main reason why I don't take advantage of that feature and do two houses on this one lot. Plus, if you do two houses on this one lot, you kind of need to make it a smaller house so that you can have more of a backyard, or you just have a smaller backyard. And I do love a big backyard. I tend to put a lot of things in my Sims yards, especially if it's like a family house. I do the tree house, I do a swing set, I do the monkey bars, I do the pool, I do it all. And I also do like some gardening things. I literally do it all. So I do a lot in the backyard, so I love a big backyard. Very rarely will I do a small backyard. We are now headed inside, and I am starting the floor plan for inside. As you can see, there are some small rooms, and I do remember going back and forth on the floor plan on exactly what I wanted to do because the rooms are so small. I needed a staircase because there is an upstairs, and so it just, that staircase is so big that it caused a little bit of issue for me. And honestly, I think I say that a lot. I think I have a problem making floor plans, is just me. They don't come together as easily as a lot of people say, at least for me. It takes a lot of finagling and concentration when I'm doing a floor plan, especially on a boxy house like this. I guess a lot of like builders will tell you it's easier to do a floor plan if you have like a lot of like jump outs and pop outs and stuff on the exterior walls, and to be honest, that is true sometimes, but sometimes that can make it even more difficult because I hate having a room only 3 tiles wide, just like this living room is. I mean, look at how like long and skinny that room is. It's not ideal. And so when I do pop outs on my builds, a lot of the time it's like 3 tiles wide, and so it just calls for smaller rooms. I don't know if I'm making a whole lot of sense. I'm trying to explain it the best that I can without showing you guys, but yeah, so floor plans is not on my specialty list, let's just put it that way. But I do put a whole lot of thought into my floor plans, and so I hope you guys can see how much thought I really put into it, and I hope you enjoy my floor plans. I try to do it as realistic as possible and as playable as possible. I don't want it to be too smushed because then it makes it too hard for like the Sims to roam around the house. Also, something I love doing on like while I'm doing the floor plans is just to place filler furniture in places where I want the kitchen to eventually be, or the living room, and that works out a lot better for me. If I have it all blank, then I kind of like lose track of my thought, and I'm like, okay, which room was this supposed to be? I don't remember. So it is way easier for me just to put the filler furniture in and go back and put the real furniture that I actually want there. I know it's like an extra step and you guys might not understand, but it's what works best for me, and we all just have to do what works best for us, you know? And here I am just placing my favorite yellow flowers that I tend to use all the time. And on the subject of favorite things, these counters, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the last few builds that I've done, I've used these counters, and I absolutely love these counters. I think they're from For Rent, and it's this swatch that I love. The green with that like orangey light brown, it goes together so well. Honestly, the green really is what sticks out to me. And then I use the fridge and the oven that is from, I believe that's from the newest pack, Life and Death, if I'm not mistaken. And I love that fridge and oven combo. There's something about it that kind of speaks to me. And I absolutely love it. And as you can see, I'm having a little bit of a hard time placing these upper cabinets. There's just something that it's like a glitch. You can only place those corner pieces in certain locations, and I can't put my finger on like exactly what causes it to have an issue, but it definitely does. And I love that corner piece and I really wanted to use it, but obviously I was not able to use it. Luckily, that end piece there that has the paper towel holder, I love that just as much. That paper towel holder is like such a good touch, I think, and it matches those green countertops perfectly. I wish that they just provided different colors of the paper towels. Honestly, I guess I can't say for sure because if I use these counters, it's always this swatch. And so I always only see the paper towels with the green leaves on them, so correct me if I'm wrong. When you change the swatch of the cabinet, does the paper towels change? I am curious. I actually need to go in there after I do this voiceover and test that out. I need to see because I love it. It's such a good touch, but the green leaves, they'll get a little old after a while, you know? And I am now just going around placing different decoration pieces for the kitchen. I believe I changed the flooring too. The other flooring was from Cats and Dogs, and I do love that flooring. It wasn't matching the wood in the kitchen very well, and so I wanted to change the flooring to match it a little bit better. I know it's still not the exact same. I probably should have used the orangey swatch, but there's just something about that orange swatch for like flooring that looks off to me. I can't seem to use it no matter how hard I try. I need to challenge myself and make myself use it from like the beginning to the end, like after I furnish everything, and see how it looks. I might just give up on it too fast, so I need to just try it out. And so we are now placing these cutting boards and the pots and pans. I do tend to do that a lot. I need to figure out some other thing to put behind the oven for like decoration that isn't always those pots and pans, but they just look nice and they look realistic and I like them. And I am also just placing like the dish rack and the bread holder, and keeping in mind that this is a family house, and so you're going to see a lot of like family touches, if I should say, like kind of like that bread holder, how it looks like kids drew on it. That is things I love to put in my family houses, just different details that's like, oh, a kid obviously lives here and their kid obviously drew that, you know? I don't know. It's all in the details to me, to be honest, and so I just love detailing. I probably detail a little bit too much and it takes me a little bit too long, but it's worth it in the end. It just looks so good. You guys should tell me down below, do you prefer cluttered builds or do you prefer like really clean, spick and span type of builds that have like little to no clutter pieces at all? Because if you do, you probably wouldn't be watching my videos because I am a clutter freak. It does not matter what house that I do. I also have a modern house coming up, actually, guys. This is going to be the first modern house I have done on my channel. and it will probably be posted next week sometime, either Monday or Friday. I'm not 100% sure which day yet, and it's going to be a long video, okay? Yeah, modern build is not my specialty. It's not what I'm used to, so it takes me quite a while to do a modern build. So it's probably going to be at least like an hour-long video, maybe a little bit longer, I don't know. But if you guys are interested in seeing that, then definitely come check my channel out next week, guys. I would love to have you here. I'm really excited for it. I think you guys are going to love it, or at least I hope so. And yeah, so if you're interested in modern houses at all, then definitely come check it out next week. But anyways, back to this build. So I am in the living room now. I don't remember how long I stick around for the living room at this particular moment. I think I might come outside like I am now and get away from the living room a little bit. That is something I tend to do if I can't think of how to decorate things. You know, furnishing is not my strong suit. I can build the outside of a house in like 10 minutes real time, but when it comes to furnishing, man, that just takes me so long. I don't know why. But so yeah, if I get stuck on a particular part of a build, then I will move on to something else. And that might seem very like back and forth when it comes to my video, because it seems like that to me, but that's just what helps me get through a build. So it is what it is. I hope it doesn't bother you guys too much, but isn't it interesting seeing everyone's different building techniques and the way that they build and stuff? I think it's interesting seeing that when it comes to speed builds. I am not one that watches speed builds anymore, but I used to all the time back like 5 or so years ago, and it really was very interesting seeing like how differently people build. That is one of the best things about speed builds. So we are in fact back into the living room. I guess I did not give up on it yet. And that end table that's there in between the two like cedar sofas, I don't know what you call those, like the single cedar sofas. There's an end table there, and I sized down that like basket that has the pillows and the blankets. I believe it's from Cottage Living. It's either Cottage Living or Eco Lifestyle, and I actually sized it down and put it under the end table, and I thought that was a really realistic touch. I usually just place it somewhere in the living room, and it looks kind of out of place most of the time, you know, but it looks like it's really supposed to go there, and so I was happy with it. I thought it looked really good. And we are on the other side, and I'm doing that L-shaped computer desk table again. So I did this in my last build, I believe, either my last one or the one before, and I kind of explained to you guys that that's just like regular computer tables that I place in an L shape. There's really not much to it. It actually looks really good, and it really fills up a spot. Like, if you cannot think of a way to fill up a spot, there's nothing left there, then do an L-shaped computer desk. You will thank me later, trust me. And as far as the fireplace goes, yes, as you can tell, it does in fact work, even though it's on the platform like that. I remember doing this in the past, and it did not work, so I don't know if they fixed it or if I just did something differently last time, but whatever the case, it works this time, and so that made me very happy. Because it gave me more room in the living room. With the fireplace there before, without it being kind of in the chimney, and by the way, this actually makes sense for it to be like this anyways, but it just gave me no room, you know? Oh, so I guess I took out that basket that was under the end table, and I put it just out. Even though, looking back, I wish I would have kept it under the end table, if that makes sense. I thought it looked like it was supposed to be there, you know? I thought it looked really good, so maybe I'll do that in the future. I'll have to take some notes. And I am having a difficult time trying to figure out what to put behind this dang couch. Like, I'm tired of every single piece of wall decor in the game. They need to add more wall decor. That might sound crazy because you might be looking like, what are you talking about, Kristen? There are like hundreds of pieces there. Yes, there is, but I do so many builds that I have literally used almost every single one of these wall pieces, not even joking. So there needs to be more, but I guess I finally found something. And I also put different like cat things around this house. So there's a cat that lives here, okay, is what I'm trying to say. I have no idea why it was so hard for me to say that. That just happens to me sometimes. Does that happen to you guys sometimes? Like, obviously, you know what you're trying to say, but it just comes out a different way. Yeah, that's my specialty, to be honest. That is something I do all the time. But moving on now, enough talking about my speech problems. We are now going around placing light fixtures. This is something I kind of wait until I furnish the room because those little lights, they are the best lights in the game, hands down. They have the best lighting. These other light fixtures, they look nice, but the lighting is not the best. It kind of has like a gold vibe, and yes, I do know that you can change the hue of the lighting, right? But you have to get out of the game to do that. And I also just kind of like the gold sometimes after I have it furnished. It's hard to see as I'm furnishing with the gold light, but after the fact, it does look nice. It almost gives it a realistic touch. I feel like a lot of people in real life have that like gold lighting. And I also put that like hanging wine rack in the kitchen, and then I sized down some of those, or I don't know if I've done it yet, but towards the end I will size down some of those round lights like the one you see right there, and I will place it right on top of the wine rack, so it's almost like the wine rack is the light fixture. And I honestly just did that because the wine rack looked nice, and once I put a wine rack there, it leaves me no space to put a light fixture, and so that's kind of a cheat that I do. Obviously, if you have a bigger room, you would be able to put the wine rack plus a light fixture, but it looks a little bit messy in my opinion if I do that, and so I prefer if I have one or the other. We are now over into the master bedroom, and this is the master bathroom of the master bedroom. And it's, you know, nothing special. It's kind of a wonky shape, but it works, to be honest. So I put a his and her sink in here, and then I just put a shower instead of like a shower tub combo. And behind the his and her sink, I put those big mirrors there, and I love those mirrors. They don't look so good if you like zoom out really far, or if you're trying to like look behind them, they do get in the way, to be honest, but they look really nice behind like a counter in the bathroom. It looks like it's supposed to be like that. There are lots of bathrooms I have been in real life that have those real big mirrors, and I absolutely love it. It gives like it just looks classy to me. I don't know how to explain it, but it does, and it, you know, uses up a lot of wall space, which is something I love when I'm furnishing in The Sims. Anything that will get me done a little bit quicker, you know? And other than that, I put a little bit of decor in there, like robes, etc. And then I put the toilet and all the normal stuff, and that was that. And we are now over into the master bedroom, and I love that bed. I don't remember which pack it's from. I think it's the new pack. Life and Death, if I'm not mistaken. Either that or For Rent, but I'm pretty sure Life and Death. And then I put an easel in here. I kind of figured the mom of the house or the dad of the house, they love painting. And so I put an easel in there, and I am now pulling off the gallery just some paintings that, I don't know, some random person on the gallery, they, you know, they did us all a favor. And they put, I think, every single painting from the game on this one piece of wall. And so I really appreciate you guys that does this, okay? It's amazing. It's so good for us builders. It's just quick and easy. We don't have to make a sim, sit there and paint for 2 hours, and then it ends up being a painting that we don't want. I love pulling it off the gallery, and then we are able to pick and choose the ones that we want. So around the house, I will be putting different painted canvases, and so that's kind of my idea of this is mom or this is dad, and they are filling their house with their favorite artwork that they've painted themselves, and I thought that's just like a really cute touch. We are now upstairs, and this is the bathroom that is for like guests that come over to the house. It kind of sucks that they have to walk upstairs, but you know, it's The Sims, so that's fine. And this is also shared by the 2 kids of the house, so this ended up being a 3-bedroom house. I couldn't remember if it was 4 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms, so it's 3 bedrooms and 2 baths. And this bathroom upstairs, I really tried to make it obvious that this is like the children's bathroom, and so I put the tub shower combo that is from the Parenthood pack, and I chose the swatch that has the baseball on the shower curtain, and that just screams like child's bathroom to me. I also put the litter box in here as well. I've told y'all before, I struggle for a location for the litter box, and I've come to find out that it's something I do often is to just put it in the bathroom. I feel like that's always the best place for it, and yeah, it's better than it being in someone's bedroom, you know? I just can't do that. If I do that, it's because it's like my last resort. And we are now just play testing certain parts of the build. This dad is my little playtest buddy right now, and I have to change some things in this particular bedroom because he couldn't go around that plant. I thought it was the bed, but it ended up being that huge base game plant, and so I just, you know, swapped it out for a different plant that honestly I like better anyways. I can't remember what pack that particular plant was from, but it's one of my favorites in the game. And then I also put a couple other decorations in the kitchen on the side of the fridge. I put that little like shelf that has keys and the mail, and that's just something you find in a lot of entryways, and the fridge was the only place I could put it that actually worked. And then I put some other, those fish craft things that are from Growing Together, I believe. My thinking was that the kid drew those or created those for his parents, and his parents just thought it was so cute and they put it on the fridge, kind of like what parents do in real life. That is actually something that I do very often in my family builds, just like I was saying earlier in the build when I put that bread holder in the kitchen. It just screams a family lives here. And I love it, so I do it often, maybe a little bit too often. But we are over into the child's bedroom now, and I was thinking this is a boy's room, but it really could be for a boy or a girl, to be honest. It's very neutral. It's green, you know, it's green, so it could be for either or. But like I was saying, I was thinking for a boy, and there's really no theme when it comes to this room. I just tried to make it look as good as possible, and I also wanted to put as many skill building items for a child in here as possible, so I was able to fit the mental table, and I was also able to fit the creativity table, and then I put a computer desk under his loft bed, and then just plenty of posters around, just really trying to fill it up and make it look actually lived in. Although there is no theme in this room, I did try to put different things in here that described his personality. I figured he was really into sports and really into like video games. And so I put some posters of like sports, and then I put that little, I don't know what it's called, but it looks like a transformer to me, and so I put one of those on his wall as well. It kind of was just like a filler when it came to the wall space, but at the same time, if he's into video games, it kind of makes sense, and so I ended up putting that there as well. We are now into the newborn baby's bedroom. So this, I went back and forth on what exactly I wanted to put in here, and as you can tell, this is one of the new kits, the Storybook Nursery kit, I believe. It was just my go-to because it would have been easy, I thought, to just use the kit, and I had like free range of what I wanted to put in there, you know? But it ended up not being as easy as I thought it was gonna be. I almost put it as a twins room because there was so much extra space, but I did away with that idea. I didn't like how everything was on that one wall. So I kept it as just a singleton baby, and then I put a rocking chair in there, and I put that really cute closet that came with the Storybook Nursery kit. I think that is so cute, and you put the little baby clothes on there, and how cute is that? I mean, that is adorable. And then you can place different miscellaneous decorations there, or stuffed animals, clothes, diapers, whatever a baby needs, I just stick in there. And since it's blue and yellow, you could totally have this as a gender neutral bedroom. It could be for a boy or a girl. Both would work perfectly in this room. And we are now doing the upstairs hallway. I had no idea what I wanted to put here. I was thinking about just putting like an end table with like some books on there, what I usually do, but since there was a cat that lived here, I figured it was the perfect opportunity to put some different things for the cat. Like there is that climbing tree, and then I put like a toy box and that, and maybe a scratching post, or I put the scratching post downstairs in the living room, I believe. But just some fun stuff for the cat so that the cat has plenty to do. And we are now outside. So as I was saying earlier, I put so many things in the backyards of my Sims builds. I just want to make sure there's plenty of things for them to do, you know? And I am now placing some pavements around. I almost put it to where you see there's like curved pieces that go from like the backyard to the front yard, and it does look really good, but for some reason I end up doing away with that idea and I just put some terrain paint down instead. I can't remember exactly why. I think it was just because I needed a lot more room, or it's because that other side had some terrain paint, so I wanted to put terrain paint on both sides just so it matched. I think that was the ultimate reason. But I cannot complain about having extra space too for like landscaping and different items for your Sims to do in the backyard. I did not put a pool in this build. I put pools in like every single one of my builds, so I wanted to be a little bit different and not put a pool and just put plenty of yard activities for your Sims, and particularly the children. There's not much for the adults to do out here other than just like hang out, and I put some like gardening pots here and there, but other than that it's mainly for the children. I was able to fit in plenty of like items for the kids. So there's a swing set, there's the monkey bars, there is the tree house, and I believe I put some stuff on the tree house. I cannot quite remember, but if I didn't, once you guys download this off of the gallery, if you're interested, you're able to put whatever you want on the treehouse if I forgot to decorate the treehouse. Because if you did not know, you are in fact able to put like different like children's skill building items or a bench or different decor pieces on the treehouse. And I think that's really fun. I love that they included that on the treehouse when they were creating it. I just wish you were actually able to see your Sims inside of the treehouse. That's the only complaint I have when it comes to the treehouse. Plus, also the trees on the treehouse are kind of ugly. They are hard to make work, let's just put it that way. And I was also able to fit a hopscotch in the backyard on the pavement in the back, and I love that because I love the hopscotch thing. I think it's so cute. And that is pretty much it, guys. The rest of the build is me just fiddling with the terrain paint, trying to make it as perfect as possible. I'm being a perfectionist this day, if you cannot tell. I don't want it too thick, but it also looks weird if it's too thin. And then I want it to look right. Sometimes when you first put the terrain paint, it just does not look the way you intended, so you have to do it a couple of times. But yeah, that is the build, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like and subscribe if you have not already. And just like I was saying earlier, stay tuned next week for my first ever modern build on my channel. I'm super excited for it. And yeah, I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world. Happy 2025 one more time, and I will see you all in the next video very soon. Bye, guys!